Welcome back to Backstage Live. Thank you for staying with us, and the excitement keeps on going because we've been talking about personal disaster preparedness, all these catastrophes that of course bring about tons and tons of stress. Yes, and this morning we have an expert here, a psychology instructor, a licensed professional counselor, and a dear friend of mine, Mr. Alex Sarabia. Alex, thank you so much for being here.
Myra, thank you very much, and James for having me this morning.
Yes, of course. Now, James, I know we all have stress. We all do. We all deal with it differently. I know you go out, you exercise, you bike ride, you run, you do all these fitness things. I do Zumba. But what about people that want to try different ways to deal with stress? You want to hear what he has to say?
I would love to hear it.
Let's see.
First, it's important to define what stress is, and it's a pressure or a demand placed by the environment. We're encountering stress every single day, whether it's traffic or relationships, financial issues, you name it. And it's very, very important to learn how to control stress because of the negative effects that stress has on you. It can damage your health and even cause heart attacks, high blood pressure, headaches, migraines, allergic reactions, substance abuse, many different negative things that's why we need to learn how to control it.
Weight gain. No. And that's why we exercise.
That's why we love tacos.
Taco Tuesday. And so, okay, so I know one of the things that make stress arise would be catastrophe. So I would be along the lines that we just had Mr. Nathan Flores. What can you tell us about that?
Exactly. There's three main sources of stress, and the first one is catastrophes like natural disasters, rape, going to war. Any type of traumatic event can definitely bring a lot of stress. The second one are daily hassles, which are those things that we encounter every day.
Relationships.
Like traffic, relationships, school, work. I know you love your job, but other people maybe don't. And the third one is significant life changes, whether the event is positive or negative. Negative events like the death of a loved one, or getting fired, or a divorce. But also positive events like graduation, getting married, or having a child. Those are good things, but they can also bring about a lot of stress.
Financial stress.
Exactly.
Yes.
Those are the three sources of stress.
Okay, so I know we say financial, we're like, yes, everybody agrees to that right away. And so do you have any tips for us, Alex? How can we cope with that stress, whether it's based on the source of catastrophe, all these other moments that just get shoved into our lives, how do we cope with
Which
that?
that happens to all of us, guys. So we're all like, Alex, please tell us.
No, and it happens at a daily basis.
That's
actually, James. So yes, everybody, I know you want to hear this, so do I, Alex. Help us out.
So basically, some people rely on unhealthy ways of coping with stress because sometimes it's easier, like drinking or smoking or using drugs. Those are big no-nos. You should try to stay away from those things because in the long term, it just brings about more problems like addiction, procrastination, isolating yourself from people, or taking out your anger, your stress on others, verbally or physically. All those are the unhealthy strategies that we should try to avoid and become more aware of. And instead, try to follow the healthy recommendations like exercise, which is something you two have mentioned. That you
Zumba,
running,
biking.
Exactly. Listening to music, eating healthy, talking to somebody who is supportive. Also, writing, if you're a writer, or reading a good book.
Kissing
can be a stress reliever. Sex, having sex.
Oh,
Woo! Yeah.
yeah.
I'm doing it.
And pretty much also meditation, maybe yoga.
Alex, do you do meditation, or have you ever done it before in the past?
Yeah, with patients, that's
Really?
one of the techniques whenever they have
Does
anxiety.
it really help you, or is that like I've never
does.
tried it? So.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Really?
Just like Zumba does, or getting a massage, meditation also
Yeah.
works.
Yoga? Have you ever done yoga? Or have you,
Yoga, I haven't.
but you've heard people.
Definitely.
It helps.
It does.
Wow.
Definitely.
So basically anything having to do, any physical
Yes.
movements.
Movement.
And also controlling your mind, because your mind is very powerful. So two people can be encountering the same stressful events, and the way you take things and the way you think about it is what truly matters. Like two people taking a very difficult exam. If one student sees it as a threat, like this test is beyond me, they're gonna be very stressed out.
Wow.
If the other student sees it like I came to class, I'm prepared,
I'm ready.
I'm ready,
Then
that student won't be as stressed. The same thing goes with a breakup or any other event. It's all in the mind.
Absolutely. So I've always heard that if you're anxious and then you start worried about being anxious, then your anxiety level just goes up because you get nervous about being nervous. That's terrible.
Alex, what about for the people that are out there? They always say, "Well, I'm not going to pass," or "I'm not going to do this." I'm not. Is that anything negative that you're saying to yourself is bad too?
Yeah,
right?
it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then it will become true. Not because they're not smart enough, but they already have it in them that they're not going to try.
Yes.
And that's what happens.
Absolutely. And so for anybody out there just wanting that extra help, Alex, how can we find you? Social media, a phone number, how can we contact you if we need more tips on how to deal with stress, with our relationships, with anything just dealing with negativity? How can we contact you?
Well, my name is Alex Sarabia, and that's my name on social media. I'm a psychology professor at STC and also an LPC, a licensed professional counselor. And if you feel like you have stress, just try to do these recommendations. If the anxiety is too much, go get professional help. There's nothing wrong with going to a psychologist or a counselor. We need to let go of that stigma related to mental health and actually get professional help.
Great, Alex. You did really good.
Thank you so much, Alex. And for everybody out there, Alex and I have been friends for over 12 years, and I love him. Big hug. Thank you so much for staying with us, guys. I hope this helps you. And don't go anywhere because Backstage Live will be right back.